Welcome to Voices of Vision with your host, Jane Asher. Jane is inspired daily by discovering the deepest passions in others. Each week, she will be digging deep to find what excites, motivates, and empowers individuals to explore new horizons, achieve their greatest dreams, and live up to their full potential. The time is now for Voices of Vision.
Oh, that just makes me laugh. Unbelievable. I am here today with a very, very good friend of mine. Terry Jaymes is over 20 years in the radio, television, stand-up comedian, you name it. This young man has done it all, and happy to say he is my friend, and I have worked with him in the past for just a whisper. But now he's currently co-founder and co-host of Lex and Terry Radio Network. But I think what I'm most excited about to talk to Terry about today is his show, Terry Jaymes Alive, and his blog, and just kind of to dig deep and find out what it is that makes this guy tick, because he is incredible. Terry, welcome to the show.
Hello, Jane. Thank you for the kind words.
Oh, I love it. There's the laugh. Well, Terry, when I started to think about doing this show, I kept thinking over and over in my head. I thought, okay, this will be incredible because I can talk to Terry again and we can do a show and we can kind of talk about when we first met, we instantly sort of connected on a different level. I mean, we were doing radio. There was a lot of just fun laughs and goofing around, and we were young kids. But there was an underlying thread about manifestation and about intention and about kind of, not to get all dorky and stuff, but kind of living the life of your dreams.
Sure.
And you always wanted to go there. You always were looking, even as a young guy in your 20s, you were constantly searching for that higher thing. So let's just talk about your background and when that kind of seeped into your consciousness and where it's led you today.
Well, it seeped in real early, like around 15 years old. In fact, anybody that knew me that when I was around, in high school or that age and found out that I was doing radio or television or stand-up comedy would never believe it. I didn't have a lot of friends. I was really shy. And I found friends in books like from Dr. Wayne Dyer or Richard Bach was a big inspiration of mine. And for some reason, these books that, told me to hang out with people that I like and that inspire me and to go for my dreams and all this really struck a chord with me. It really did. And those people became my friends. And I developed this thing to where I always wanted to look for the good in people. And when I saw good in people, I wanted to be a part of that good. And that's exactly what happened with you. I mean, it's the like attracts like and hanging out with people you want to. And I've always believed in it. I've always chosen really good friends. I have never gotten into the drug scene or anything because of all of that. I've always just made really good decisions with friends and trusted it and hung around with people that really jack me up and get me going.
Exactly. So kindred spirits and people that actually lift you up and kind of maybe they have the best intentions for you. And so they see you as such. And so you kind of rise up to that level. What do you do? Like, what is your daily practice? Because for me, that's so important and it's so key. And I'm always looking and searching to maybe elevate myself, obviously. But to do so, I look to other people and I get inspiration from other people's practices. So what does Terry Jaymes do on a day-to-day basis to tap into that well?
Well, it has never changed. You talked about intentions, and that's been one of my favorite words for a long time, although now it's quite the buzzword. Everybody uses it. I didn't know I was breaking ground there a long time ago. It's just the way I wanted to set out for my day to go, my plan. Sure. Every day you need a plan.
Yes.
And I start it every day Well, first of all, I used to just do it like in the shower. I know that sounds weird.
No, bring it on, baby.
But I would be taking showers in the morning, and I would always say, okay, and I ask myself a series of questions, and it was usually the same ones.
Okay.
It was, what can I do today to show that my friends and coworkers that I support them and love them? The number one thing is, what can I do today to show my wife that I love her? And I would always come up and get answers. When you ask positive questions like that, you get some really good answers.
Okay.
And I would, I would then make it upon myself. I'd tell myself, I'm going to do whatever I come up with in my mind. I'm going to take action on that. And it just gets the ball rolling. And that's the way it used to be. Now I kind of do it twice. I do the shower one. But since I wake up so early to do the Lex and Terry morning radio show, which is, a syndicated show that's on the East Coast. I mean, I live in Seattle, so I have to get up at 2:30 in the morning. I sit in this chair, and I'm learning a little bit of meditation, and I sit in this chair, and I shut my eyes, and I go through what my intentions are of the show, first of all.
Okay.
Because I don't want my radio show to define who I am, so I kind of separate the show. So I have my intentions of the show, and that is to be to have a good show, to be engaged, to support my coworkers, and I think about this in my intentions, and I set it up, and I know it helps me. It helps me go right into the show in a really positive frame of mind.
Good.
And then when I'm done with the show, I go to the intentions for the rest of my life. And that is when I really get busy again and about the rest of the day, whether it's to eat right or work out or whatever the heck I have on my mind.
Do you find yourself like maybe midstream, middle of the day, you start to lose it? You have an equipment problem like technology, you can't control it, or something happens where you're just frustrated, or you just kind of get in one of those funks where you're down, but you don't know why. Is there a specific practice that you have to shift that energy to get back to that good space?
Well, a lot of times I just remind myself that these are just moments, and they're just moments that aren't going to detract me from the path that I'm on. Moments are just that. They just last for just a brief moment, and then you can get back to your regular business. And I always remind myself that. Okay.
What are you reading right now? I'm always curious about my friends that are in that. When you're in that elevation process, I'm always looking for the next best thing to read or to find out about a new practice. Like, for instance, I'm reading this awesome book called Outrageous Openness. And it's just a really cool little book, but you can pick it up anywhere, and she's funny and irreverent, and it's all about just kind of, getting your groove on, so to speak. So what's Terry Jaymes reading these days?
Well, I just finished this book. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Joel McHale, his book. The actor, comedian guy, and it's just a very creative, funny written book, well-written book. But the one that I just started reading is Tools of the Titans by Tim Ferriss.
Ooh, I like Tim Ferriss. He's isn't he the 10-minute work guy?
He's the 4-hour work week guy and all this stuff. And it's very funny because his book, The 4-Hour Work Week, is probably 9,000 pages. So let me get this straight. I'm going to go ahead and get a 4-hour work week, but it's going to take me 6 years to read your book.
Oh, that's hilarious.
And that's what this book is too. The Tools of the Titans is right up my alley because it's very in your face. It's very factual. And all he does, and it talks about the tactics and routines and habits of billionaires, icons, and world-class performers. And he'll ask them just basically what you're talking about as well, about what do you do throughout the day? There's no right or wrong answers. You got to find out what really works for you,
Right,
and I've done a lot of trial and error, but a lot of it is, health and, spirituality and everything else. And it covers people from show business to people I don't even know, but have been, very successful in their field. So I learned something from pretty much everybody, and I try to apply it to my life. And I think that's what the key is. You can read these things till you croak, and nothing matters. It just makes you feel good in the moment. I mean, you really got to try to put some of this stuff to action and to find out the stuff that works for you and make it happen for you.
Right. Yeah. There does come a time where you have to put the book down and just get practicing.
Yeah.
Whatever
I thought I was reading too many books at one point. I'm going, wait a minute, I'm not living my life.
Right.
And I really needed to get away from it and really start to do that myself. And I just recently started picking up a few more books.
Yeah. What about a daily practice? Like, is there, other than your meditation thing in the shower and then when you sit in your chair and you set your intentions, is there anything that you do outside of the house, like nature, and just to get that groove on and to kind of inspire yourself?
Well, one of the things that have always inspired me was movement for some reason. Mm-hmm. I could get in the car and come up with, just start driving. And I love driving in the car with no radio on. I don't listen to things. I just like the quiet. If I'm driving by myself, I get a lot of ideas, and I actually keep my cell phone near me so I can speak the ideas into it to try to save them. I mean, when I'm driving by myself and I know that I'm going to come up with ideas or thoughts or whatever the heck it is. And that's one of the things that I really look forward to. And walking around, believe it or not, a lot of people say nature, and there's a couple places I like to go to that inspire me that have that type of, fit in that nature category. But tell you the truth, I love walking. I live downtown Seattle, and I love walking around in the city and the energy of any city. Just when it comes to life, and I watch it when it goes to bed. I live in a penthouse downtown, and it's really gets me motivated for some reason.
Yeah, the energy is great in a city, and I always wonder, where are these people going? What do they do for a living? Yeah.
Look at that guy. Whatever he does it right. One of those things.
Yeah, that is fun to do that. So you get out, and what about the creative side? Like, are you into photography? Do you what is it like? I'll see some of your posts sometimes. You seem to have a unique eye. Like, I'll see some of your pictures on Instagram. Which, by the way, you can follow Terry Jaymes, Instagram, Facebook, Terry Jaymes Alive, and Twitter is @Terry Jaymes, and it's Jaymes, if you don't know that.
Well, thank you. Talk to me about, first of all, for that. It's weird. I do not think I'm a photographer by any means, but a lot of people on the Lex and Terry show obviously don't get out much because they've told me to put out a coffee table book of my photographs. I literally put no time into it. I look at something, I point the camera at it, I go, oh, that's interesting light, and I'll take a picture of it. Mm-hmm. It's just one of those things.
Right.
And it's weird because I'm one of the people that doesn't believe you have to go to school for anything. I kind of believe you're it when you want to do it. My wife went to school, graduated magna cum laude in English. She's won awards for writing. She's great. I read some of her stuff and I go, who are you? That's not you. Where's this coming from? And she will never put out anything because she doesn't feel that she's ready yet or she needs more schooling. I'm the guy that'll open up a laptop and thank God for spell check. I'll go, I'm a writer. I'm putting out a book tomorrow, So that's the big difference between a lot of different people is that I really don't believe you, I think you just go for it in life.
You just do it. Just open up and shred.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we're going to take a short little break. When we come back, we're going to find out what's next for Terry Jaymes. My name is Jane Asher. It's Voices of Vision. We're finding out a lot of interesting things about Terry Jaymes and his background and what he's going to do next because, as he just said, he opens up his laptop and declares it and does it. We'll be back in just a bit on Empower Radio.
Voices of Vision with Jane Asher. We'll be right back on Empower Radio.
Hey everybody, it's Nancy Newcomer. I do the Back to the Kitchen Minutes here on Empower Radio. You can also hear my show, The Dish with Nancy Newcomer. And if you're ever in the San Francisco Bay Area, catch me on 98.5 KFOX. Today, I wanted to share with you my experience with Go Cleanse. It's been such an amazing journey. I have to say, what I love, number one, about the Go Cleanse system is that you can eat real food. In fact, a lot of my healthy recipes on my food blog have been incorporated into the Go Cleanse program. Easy to do. And if you follow the program, the pounds are going to drop. But not only will you lose weight, you're going to feel that vitality and that energy. Ever since using Go Cleanse, I've been sleeping better. If you'd like to give it a try, give them a call. 1-866-352-6888. That's 1-866-352-6888. You can also check them out on Facebook at Facebook/Go Cleanse.
Welcome back to Empower Radio's Voices of Vision with your host, Jane Asher.
I just have to say I love that voice. That is a friend of mine and of Terry's. His name is Mark Avery, and he is truly one of the best voiceover talents in the biz. I mean, we worked with him in radio, and those pipes were so resonant that he took the show on the road, and he's done stuff for flipping Taco Bell and huge clients. And now he actually coaches people in voiceover. He also fishes a lot and he plays poker a lot. So if that's any indication about how successful our buddy is, he pretty much just does whatever the heck he wants to do. Oh, and he coaches softball. Sorry. My husband and I will start laughing. We're like, well, what's Marky up to these days? And it's like, well, he was fishing and then he was playing softball and then he laughs a lot. Yeah. He's got a good. Anyway, and I'm so grateful that he actually offered to do that for me, which I was like, holy crap, that would cost me a lot of money to have that produced. I mean, that little piece that he did right there, that's like $1,000.
He's a good man, that Mark Avery.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I might have to take him out for a burger.
Yeah, okay. There you go.
So anyway, I just wanted to give Mark some props because I love him to pieces. Absolutely. I am speaking with Terry Jaymes, who is just really an inspiration to me and always has been. I mean, I don't even remember what year we met, but it was late 80s. And I saw something immediately and you made me laugh. But on top of that, you wanted to be a better person. And I feel like I work every single day, every minute of every day. I try to tap in and go, okay, what are you going to do today, Jane, to make somebody's life experience better? What are you going to do to try to elevate humanity? What are you going to do to try to rise up and be that change that you wish to see? Not to get all dorky, but that's pretty much who I am. And I practice it daily. And when I met you, I saw that. Which leads me to what I think is the best part of your career. Like I'm so proud of you with Lex and Terry. I think you guys are hilarious and you're such professionals. I love working with you. I've seen you guys do your live stuff. It's you and Lex and Dee. It's brilliant. But it also has that edge to it. And you guys are into that, you have a very big male audience and that's great. Mm-hmm. But you took that sidestep and created something, in my estimation, of really what speaks to your heart, and that is Terry Jaymes Alive. You've created a community that is so thoughtful and so compassionate and kind. Tell me about where that came from and how people can connect with you, because I know you've got a super cool group on Facebook called Terry Jaymes Alive. And you also have a podcast, actually, or a show that airs here on Empower Tuesday nights at 9 o'clock Eastern. And then, of course, if you're not available, then you can download it, take a walk around the lake, and listen to Terry Jaymes Alive. So let's talk about your community and how that came to be.
Okay, well, I have always, as you know, when we worked in the rock radio industry, it was crazy. It's people running up and down the halls, snapping each other with towels and throwing pies in each other's face. And, it was just a high energy type of fun place. And I never want to lose that in my life. I'm all about having fun and laughing. Yes. And I don't care what it's about. It could be, it could be the worst joke you've ever heard in your life that offends everybody. To me, if it's funny, it's funny.
Right.
I know it sounds weird, but that's the way it is. But I've always wanted to, to keep this conversation going. And working with you, I mean, you're always so supportive. You're always so inspirational. And it was just a real fun group of people. But, the Lex and Terry show, it's a whole different thing. It is a high-energy guy show. And it, I'll tell you the truth, this will put anybody out there listening that's wondering what the show's like. We were hired at one point to replace Howard Stern in New York. The deal at the last thing, we ended up taking it off the table and didn't take the job, but that's the type of show it is. It's not as mean or anything else, but, it's just guys acting foolish. So I wanted this other outlet. So I wanted to do Terry Jaymes Alive. I came up with the idea, and I tried to do a podcast many years ago, and I reached out to one of my favorite people, much like you're doing right now. I reached out to Richard Bach, who wrote Jonathan Livingston Seagull, Illusions. Mm-hmm. He's a recluse, this guy. And I found him on Twitter. He was on Twitter for like a day.
Wow.
And I found him on Twitter, and I asked him to come on my show, and he said yes, and I couldn't believe it. This guy means everything to me. Wow. So I took that as a message as like, well, I'm doing a show now. I couldn't believe he said yes because I had no audience. You know, it was great. And so I decided I have to keep doing this. Mm-hmm. And then that just kind of evolved the show. I've been trying to learn how to do the show and to keep the edge and to put it into very simple terms and to not be preachy by any means, because I don't want to be that. I don't think I'm any more special than anyone else because I've figured out a few things. I want to help. I want to learn. And that's the reason why I did it. It was purely selfish reasons. But the Terry Jaymes Alive Facebook page took on a life of its own. At the very start, I told people on here, if there's any trolls, anybody here to be mean, we'll all kick them off. Just let me know. I'll block them.
Right.
And that turned into people now around the holidays, they buy each other things. They don't even know each other. They will send each other gift cards from Amazon.com. They will send them to me to pass out to somebody anonymously. I really like the support that this one girl's giving everybody on the line. Could you please pass her on a $50 gift card from Amazon? And don't tell her who it's from.
Wow, that's awesome.
It gives you goosebumps. It's really neat what goes on there. And they're just simple posts up there, but watching the threads of people supporting one another. And if somebody comes on and is an idiot, we block it or hide their thing. This is our experience on this Facebook page. This isn't your experience. This isn't for somebody to come in and troll us. Right. This is for us as a group, and it's fun. I'll throw out some questions. They'll answer them. They'll talk to one another, and I give some things away from time to time, and it's just kind of snowballed into something that's really kind of special, and I didn't expect it to be that way, especially a social media page. I never thought it would be nice over there.
Right. Huh. That's wild.
Yeah.
Terry Jaymes Alive is the page that we're talking about, and it's super easy to find on Facebook. It's not secret. It's not private. You can join. And as Terry has been telling you, if you have any desire to be part of this, it is kind of a movement, and it's a movement in kindness, in compassion, and to elevating your fellow man. So if you're all about that, please join him on Terry Jaymes Alive, and you can follow him if you're into Twitter like I am. He's funny on Twitter. He posts his pictures at Terry Jaymes, and also Instagram too. Terry, I do have to say about we're almost closing, but I just wanted to mention about Instagram. You have a really good eye. You kind of have this little arty vibe to your pictures, and you're like, you're not a photographer, but when you're walking around Seattle and you capture a doorway and some light streaming in, or a word or some graffiti or whatever it is, it's cool. You definitely have an eye. And as a photographer will tell you, it's not the tool that matters. It is the eye. Well, so keep doing that.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm so excited just to have you here today. You truly have inspired me again. Now I'm going to go
thank you.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to have you, and I want you to come back on, because this show is all about just trying to find out what makes people be good people.
Well, I'm excited about this show. This is definitely one I will be listening to all the time now. It's brand new, and I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, you were my second guest, so Yeah, there you go. Sorry, Dick
shoot
Kernan.
for the stars.
Yeah, Dick Kernan beat you out, but when you've been in radio for 60 years, I had to start with Uncle Dick because he is he's the be all end all. Anyway, thank you so much. Terry Jaymes has been my guest today. Terry Jaymes Alive. Some people have actually called him the Anthony Bourdain of the motivational world, and it's true.
That was early. That's when I was cussing more.
Yeah, no cussing on my show.
I'm not, damn it.
Hey, now. I am just so happy to have you. Thank you so much, Terry. I love you to pieces. Please follow Terry at Terry Jaymes on Twitter. It's TerryJaymes. Also, Terry Jaymes Alive on Facebook and Instagram. Same, Terry Jaymes. He's a good dude. And catch the Terry Jaymes Alive right here on Empower Radio Tuesday night at 9. Thanks so much, Terry.
Thank you.
Inspired? Motivated? We hope so. Join Jane next week as she connects with another motivated soul, driven to live their life's purpose on Voices of Vision, here on Empower Radio.